Shalom, call hello Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people ignorantly call God. Bahashim, in the name of Yahushua, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Those are the true names of Heavenly Father and the Son. Plus, I'm going to give a shout out to the Akim that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Also to the confusion of faith brothers and sisters out there whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers. Though you look like one of the heathen nations, as you see on this chart from 2 on down, those are the heathen nations, okay? And same to if your lineage or your seed line traces back. If I get the chart to these tribes right here, you see on this chart through the man. And if your spirit bear witness with this word and this truth, and you can receive it, to the confusion of faith, brothers and sisters, as this do apply to you, you are Israelites once again, though you do look like one of the heathen nations. To the few, Aqua, few sisters that do listen and learn, Shalom. To the elect of the nation of Israel, wherever you may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who this word is going out to, Shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you combine, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel, as you see on this chart right here. You are the Hebrew Israelites, okay? The chosen people of the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ once again, Yahweh Shah, okay? This lesson right here, I have an article, basically on let me see, type it back in, team. Okay, I have an article that I was planning on doing a few days ago, but I knew that, from the amount of time, because I was at work at the time, that I wouldn't be able to fully, get everything I wanted out of it, because, a break, But, basically, in the last case I'm about to read, you had a swimmer, as you see in the title, it says swimmer disqualified for curvier figure in school-issued swimsuit will get her win. Okay, and the girl's name is Brooklyn, I think it is, Willis. Okay, and it said, let me just read the article, because it's a balance. We tell you, okay, Israelite women, which is the so-called Black, Latino, Native American women, we tell you that a majority of you, you will, a lot of you are completely going off. You've been westernized here in America, okay, and that a lot of you gonna get destroyed. So it's always sound like always sound like it's a bad part, but it's also a good, it's a balance. That's what I'm gonna put to you, like, it's a balance. But it says a teenager who was disqualified after winning a swim meet because the referee said her school issued swimsuit showed too much of her backside will get her hard-earned win after all. And basically, what they'll tell you, which I'm gonna read, it says Brooklyn, okay, if that's her name, Willis, 17, a star swimmer at Diamond High School in Anchorage, Alaska, was disqualified after winning her meet on September 6th because the referee said her swimsuit body exposed too much of her body. The controversial decision fueled outrage and accusations that the teen was being body shamed for being curvy. As you see, that's her and her sister, okay? And it said that she does have that is, they say she's black, okay? She do, like I said, you have out there confusion of face, okay, Israelites. You have Israelites that look like the heathen nations, They'll look like a so-called white man. They'll look like a so-called Indian man, East Indian man. They'll look like a so-called Ishmaelite, okay? They'll look like a Moabite, which is a Chinese or Ammonite, a so-called Japanese person. But if their father, right, their lineage goes back to like their father's side, on their father's side, their lineage goes back to one of the tribes, a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, okay? If it goes back to that, then they're Israelite, no matter what they look like, okay? Because we've done, and it's in the scriptures, they've done years and years of mixing, what you would call race mixing, okay, in captivity, okay. We mixed ourselves amongst the nations where we've been scattered amongst, okay. Says Willis School District supported her and took its appeal to the Alaska State Activity Association, which voted to overturn Willis' disqualification and restore the points she earned. State rules require that a referee notify a coach of any illegal attire before a heat or dive. Okay? I'm not going to read this whole thing. All evidence gathered, including the statement provided by the officials, indicated the official did not notify the coach prior to disqualifying the student. The Alaska School Activity Association said in the statement, Willis is ranked as one of the best female swimmers in Alaska. Last year, she won state titles in the 200-meter freestyle and 100-meter butterfly. Okay. The Anchorage school district said in a statement on Tuesday that its investigation concluded that our swimmer was targeted based solely on how a standard school-issued uniform happened to fit the shape of her body. We cannot tolerate discrimination of any kind, certainly not based on body shape. The district added this disqualification was heavy-handed and unnecessary. Let me see. That's the end of the article. But basically, basically, let's go back to the scripture, because what this all boils down to is these heathens, okay? These heathen nations, okay? Let me get the chart again. These nations right here, they hate, okay? From 2 on down, okay? Especially the second one. They hate you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You can read Psalms, the 83rd chapter, okay? They hate everything about you because, especially the second nation, because it goes back to an ancient world hatred. It goes back, okay, to you having the blessing, you having the birthright, and you just being the Israelites, man, okay? So they're going to despise, okay, everything about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? And this was just another example of that. But because these heathens, especially these Edomites, which is the Edomites are who you know in the society today is the so-called white race. They're the biblical Edomites, okay? And the thing is, this case right here is, the black woman, the so-called, well, the Israelite women in general, okay, especially the so-called black woman, the Judite woman, okay, Eve, they have nice bodies because they're princesses. I wouldn't say queens, because if you go into queens, okay, a queen means bitch if you really go into the word, okay? The other nation, they have queens, okay? But we being the Israelites, okay, we have princesses. And that's why the so-called black, Latino, Native American women, okay, they have nice, okay, curvy bodies, okay? And don't get me wrong, you have heathen women that look decent, but there's no women on this planet that looks better than the so-called black, Latino, Native American women, hands down. And I got scriptures, showing you how good our woman was, especially back in the ancient world. I got plenty of examples, okay? Going back all the way back to the book of Genesis, I believe. Genesis. Let me type in fair. There's plenty of examples to showing, okay, the beauty of our women, especially back in the ancient world. Okay? This is let me see if I could find it. Yeah, this is it right here. I knew it's Genesis 12th chapter. Okay? This is going back to our forefather Abraham. right? This is Genesis. I started the first verse, 12 and 1. It says, now the Lord, Yahweh, had said unto Abram, okay, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with them. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife. This was before his name was changed to Abraham, and before Sarah was Sarah, okay? His wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and to the land of Canaan they came. Okay, and Abram passed through the land onto the place of Sychem, onto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanites was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and he called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed going on still toward the south, and there was a famine in the land. And Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there. For the famine was grievous in the land. It came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. And really, let's go on that word fair real quick. Okay, the word is Yafeh. Okay, Yafeh. And it says fair, beautiful. Okay, it says handsome, but it's a woman. Okay, it says beautiful, comely, fair, goodly, pleasant, well. Okay, so she was real beautiful, man. Okay, and look what he told her because of that. Okay, therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. Okay, and the reason they slayed okay, they slayed the man real quick. This might be a stretchy, lengthy lesson, because I got a lot of scriptures. Because scriptures say if you're married to a man, this is how we did it in the ancient world. Okay, this was really supposed to be being pushed. Okay, this is First Corinthians 7:37. I'll start at. It says, but if any man think that he behave himself uncomely towards a virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, which is her menstrual cycle or puberty cycle, right, and needs so required, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. Nevertheless, I actually started at 36. That's what I just read. But it says, nevertheless, he that stands steadfast in his heart, having no necessity, but have power over his own will, and have so decreed in his heart that he will keep his virgin, do it well. So then he that giveth her in marriage, which marriage, okay, is sex. Marriage is not putting, like you see in this society, putting a ring, okay, on a woman's finger, man, in front of a whole crowd of people. That's not real marriage. Okay, that's just what Esau told you was marriage. Okay, the wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth, but if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord. Okay, so that's why they would do what they do. They would slay the husband. Okay, because she's bound to her husband once she's married to that man. Okay, and that's what it was in the ancient world. That's adultery. She was already with a man, you lay with her. Okay, but that's why Abraham told Abraham, which he was Abram then, before Abraham, right? He told her to say that you're my sister. Okay, because he knew that if they found out they were husband okay, and wife, that the Egyptians was going to take them out just so they could pop, Sarah. Sarai or Sarah, okay? Another example, okay? I'm gonna pull like a couple examples out of here. Just going into actual land of Egypt, okay? Hold on. This is Exodus. I started 1:8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more admired than we. Okay? And that's what you see now, because this is America is spiritual Egypt. Revelations 11:8 and Joel 3:19. Okay? Egypt and Esau is the new Egyptians, they're the new pharaohs. But this is the ancient Egypt, right? Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they fall out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made themselves their lives bitter, and with hard bondage and mortar and brick and in all manner of service in the field, all their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. All right, and the point is coming up. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman, and see them upon stools, if it be a son, basically giving birth, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But the midwives feared Yahweh. Okay, showing you this was how women were back in the ancient world, man. They actually feared the Most High, man. If you look at our women now, they don't fear Yahweh by Shem Shah. Okay, majority of them, because you do have Israelite women out there, that's trying to get right and that do fear, as I always bring up. But the majority of our women, as I just did in the previous video, they don't fear Yahweh by Shem Shah, man. They don't even fear the man, man. Okay, that's how you fear Yahweh by Shem Shah. You fear your man. Okay, but a majority of them don't do that. But it was a different mindset back in the ancient world, man. Okay, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. So he obeyed Yahweh instead of obeying, okay, man, basically Pharaoh, man. Okay, and the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing? And he had and have saved the men children alive. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, showing you that African people, okay, and you Israelites, which the Africans are Hamites, and you Israelites, you're different. You're different. Okay, Esau has told you that because we look similar, we have woolly hair, we have dark skin, okay, that we're the same people, and that's bullshit. Okay, they're a different dark race of people, and we're a different dark race of people. Okay, but you do, like I always bring up, you have confusion of face. You still got Israelites in Africa, but that does not mean we're African. Okay, you have Israelites everywhere. Okay, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto him. And it was two reasons why Pharaoh, he wanted to do away with our women. I mean, do away with uh the sons. When the Hebrew woman had sons, when our woman had sons, he wanted them dead. Okay, because he knew that the way our nation is built is through the man, really, because the seed comes of the man. You are of your father, man. Okay? He wanted to do away with the nation of Israel, but he wanted to save our women because they were decent looking, they were lively. Let's go on that word lively real quick. Okay? The word is kaya, kaya, kaya. It says vigorous, lively, having the vigor of life. Okay? And they were fair looking, man. They looked extremely good, man. And they wanted to, do away with the men and basically, have all women. Okay, pop all women. Okay? Because they knew that the man was the way that you can nation build. Okay, of course you gotta have the women, but the seeds of the man. Okay? If a so-called white man, okay, have what you've been seeing, right, during slavery, when so-called white man was raping all women, right, he was bringing his seed, as they're known as tares in the scriptures, okay, when he was having children with all women, those weren't Israelites, those were Edomites. No matter what they look like, they could have woolly hair, dark skin. If they came from his seed line, he's an Edomite. He's an Edomite, man. That's not an Israelite. Okay? But if it's the other way around, black men having, okay, a so-called having a baby with a so-called white woman, an Edomite woman, right? Then that baby's an Israelite because the seed line goes back to the father and he's an Israelite. So that would make the child an Israelite. But that's a different scenario. Okay? Just making that point. But that's another example. Okay? I'm gonna get one more. There's plenty of examples where our woman was so good looking that they basically let me just get it. This is going in the book of Judith. Okay, the book of Judith. This is in the Apocrypha. Alright. Judith, the 9th chapter. You have plenty of examples. The book of Esther. Okay. It's gonna be kind of lengthy. I'm gonna read this chapter. Let me see. I'm gonna read a little bit of this chapter. Then I'm gonna skip over to the next chapter. No, I don't wanna make it too long. Judith fell upon her face, and she put ashes upon her head. This is Judith 9:1. And I covered the sackcloth where she was clothed. And about the time that the incense of that evening was offered in Jerusalem in the house of the Lord, Judith cried with a loud voice and said, O Lord Yahweh of my father Simeon, to whom thou givest a sword to take vengeance of the strangers who loosen the girdle of a maid to defile her and discover the thigh to her shame, and polluted her virginity to her reproach. For thou saidst it shall not be so, and yet they did so. Okay. Wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain, so that they died their beds in blood, being deceived, and smote the servants with lords and the lords upon their thrones, and has given their wives for a prey and their daughters to be captives, and all their spoil to be divided among thy dead children, which were moved with thy zeal, and abhorred the pollution of their blood, and called upon thee for aid, O Yahweh, O my power. Hear me also a widow. For thou hast wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which ensued after thou hast thought upon these things which are now come, which are to come. Slakia. Yet what things thou didst determine were ready at hand, and said, Lo, we are here. For all thy ways are prepared, and thy judgments are in thy foreknowledge. For behold, the Assyrians multiply in their power. They are exalted with horse and man. They glory in the strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear, and bow and sling, and know not that thou art the Lord that breakest the battles, and the Lord is thy name. Okay? But that's the point. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to go over. Okay? It says, throw down their strength and thy power, and bring down their force and thy wrath, for they had proposed to defile thy sanctuary, and to pollute the tabernacle where thy glorious name resteth, and to cast down with sword the horn of thy altar. Behold, that pride and send thy wrath upon their heads, give into my hand, which am a widow, the power that I have conceived. Okay? So the point is the Syrians, right? So if you go over one chapter, you're gonna see something. It's Judith chapter 1, 10 verse 1. Now after that she had ceased to cry unto the God of Israel, and had made an end of all these words, Salakia. She arose when she had fallen down, called her maid, and went down to the house in which she abode in the Sabbath days and in her feast days, and pulled off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head, and put on a tire, and put on a tire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh her husband. And she took sandals upon her feet, and put about her bracelets, and her chains, and her rings, and her earrings, and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that should see her. Then she gave her maid a bottle of wine and a cruse of oil, and filled a bag with parched corn and lumps of figs and with fine bread. So she folded all these things together and laid them upon her. Thus they went forth to the gate of the city of Bethulia, and found standing there Osias and the ancient of the cities, Chabrias and Charmis. And when they saw her, that her countenance was altered and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty very greatly, and said unto her, the God of our fathers, give thee favor and accomplish thine enterprise to the glory of the children of Israel, right? And to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then they worshiped Yahweh. And she said unto them, command the gates of the cities to be opened unto me, that I may go forth to accomplish the things whereof ye have spoken with me. So they commanded the young men to open unto her as she had spoken. And when they had done so, Judith went out, she and her maid with her, and the men of the city looked after her until she was gone down the mountain, until she had passed the valley and could see her no more. Thus they went straight forth into the valley, and the first watch of the Assyrians met her, right? So here we go. And took her and asked her, of what people art thou, and whence comest thou, and whither goest thou? And she said, I am a woman of the Hebrews, and I am fled from them, that they shall be given you to be consumed. And I am coming before Holofernes, the chief captain of your army, to declare the words of truth, and I will shew him a way whereby he shall go and win all the hill country without losing the body or life of any one of his men. Now when the men heard her words, and behold her countenance, they wondered greatly at her beauty, and said unto her, thou hast saved thy life, and thou hast hastened to come down to the presence of our Lord. Now therefore come to his tent, and some of us shall conduct thee until they have delivered thee to his hands. So they saying, she looked good, right? Let me see. Let's see what the point is at. Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay. And when thou, this is the 16th verse, and when thou standest before him, be not afraid in thy heart, but show unto him according to thy word, and he will entreat thee well. Then they chose out of them 100 men to accompany her and her maid, and they brought her to the tent of Holofernes. Then there was a concourse throughout all the camp, for her coming was noised among the tents, and they came about her as she stood without the tent of Holofernes, till they hold him of her. And they wondered at her beauty, and admired the children of Israel because of her. Everyone said to his neighbor, who would have despised this people that have among them such women? Surely it is not good that one man of them be left without being let go, might deceive the whole earth. Okay? So that was my point, man. These heathens was like, they was looking at Judith and her maid, it was looking at him. It was like, what you would say today, like, damn, she look good, all women, they Salakia, they looked extremely beautiful back then, I had to get those 3 examples up, man. Eventually the Assyrians was taken down through her, okay. The beauty of her was the stumbling block, okay, because they was trying to come after our people. If you read the book of Judith, okay. But that's the point, man. Our woman was extremely, okay, beautiful in the ancient world, okay. But what happened was, according to Deuteronomy 28:15, we broke the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yahweh, okay. And this is what happened to us. This is Isaiah 3:1. For behold, the Lord of hosts doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff and the whole stay of bread and the water, the whole stay of water, the mighty men and the men of war, the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient. And you see our men today, they're not really men. There's soft, effeminate, emotional, okay? The captain of 50 and the honorable man, the counselor and the cunning artificer and the eloquent orator. And I will give their children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Okay? And that's what you're seeing now. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, meaning your parents, man. Okay? And the base against the honorable. And that's what you see going on now. Okay? You see how we were prospering, okay, in the ancient world, The Lord, he said he decked us. Cool. I forgot what chapter that was. How he decked us out. And Jezreel, which Jezreel's us, waxed fat and kicked. We became rebellious. So this what came upon us. I'm gonna read a little bit more, then I'm gonna skip to a certain point, going into our women. What will happen to them? Okay, when a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou ruler, be thou overruler, our ruler, Salaki, and let this ruin be under thy hand. And that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. For Jerusalem, that's us, is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doing are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. To show, okay, that's the thing. We transgress the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why these heathen nations, okay, these Edomites and the rest of these heathens, okay, they're above us. That's why they treat us like shit, okay? Because we departed from the law, statutes, and commandments of our power, man. Okay, we basically, okay, shamed the Lord, man. Okay? So he did that to us. He put us in this predicament. Okay? And I'm gonna skip to the point. Actually, I started 12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Once again, the nations and women rule over them. Okay? Our own women. Okay, they now according to the curses, they have an evil eye towards their husband, towards the children. Okay? It says a man shall, betroth a woman, which is talking about us, that we shall betroth our woman. She shall lie down with another man, whether it's, okay, committing adultery with another Israelite man, or mainly committing, being, okay, with the Edomites and the rest of these heathen nations, man. Our women playing the harlot to these other nations, okay? That's what you see. That's why you're seeing that, okay? That's a curse. I'm gonna skip down to the point. This is Isaiah 3:16. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and menacing as they go and making tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Lord will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Okay, and that's why what you see now. That's why if you see mainly the so-called black women, because you Judites, you so-called Negroes, okay, which make up the tribe of Judah and the rest of the southern kingdom, if you see the so-called black woman, okay, she's the main one that doesn't have her hair, okay, because if you go to 1 Corinthians 11:15 says, a woman's hair is a covering, a glory given to her, okay. That's the woman's glory. That's why you see our women in society, they you see You see them they wear like all this fake hair, man. They go to these Elamites, these Moabites, the so-called Chinese person, and they buy $400, $500 things of hair, man, fake hair, man, and put it in their head, man, because they know deep down in spirit that they're supposed to have long hair, man. But the Lord, okay, took that away from them, okay? Cause our women didn't. Our women had long hair, man. Okay, so that was taken away, and he said the Lord will discover their secret parts, man. That's why you see our women in the society. Okay, this westernized mindset that they have now. Okay, that's why you see them when they draw. You everybody sees this. You see a majority of Israelite women when you go out in public, they'll wear things where their body is showing, man. Their breasts is showing, tight clothes. They figure is showing. Okay, that's this their secret parts being discovered, man. Okay. That's what happened. The Lord took all that away, man. Okay, that was a shame. Okay, to have for our women to be dressed like you see them dressed now in society. Okay, it tells you in Amos 7 that thy woman shall be a harlot in all the cities, man. That's also another thing, man. They're harlots, man. Majority of our women, they're harlots. Okay. And the day of the Lord, in that day, the Lord will take away the burden of their taking the ornaments about their feet and their claws and their round tires like the moon, okay, their shape, you know, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suit of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, okay. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stank, man. Okay? Back in the ancient world, as I read in the book of Judith, women, when they would bathe, they would bathe in sweet ointments. Okay? Now what they'll do is they'll spray like these perfumes they got in these stores, man. These smelly ass perfumes they got in these stores, man. Okay? It's not the same like it was in the ancient world. Okay? That's why it smell like that. Plus a lot of them are women. They've been with more than one partner. They've had slept with multiple men. And as you know, when a man ejaculates into a woman, okay, what happens is you got many different men's sperm cells inside you, and it rots inside that woman, okay, and it starts to smell, man. Because what happens when something rots? It smells, okay. So that's what's happening now. And instead of a girdle, a rent, okay, and that's going into their weight, okay. That's why you see now, especially now, okay, because Esau he's pushing GMO food, fake food, which is not real food, that has no nutrients in it. You see, our women back in the ancient world, our women, they had a beautiful shape about them. But if you see them now, you have Israelite women that's probably extremely huge, man. Now they got this thing now where they call you a oversized. I forgot what they call it. I think they call it a oversized model. They have models that's kind of what you would call in society big bone, okay. But that's also a curse that came upon our women, man. They'll lose their shape, man. And you still got Israelite women, okay. They still got their shape, especially the northern kingdom, so-called Latin tribes. Their women still got the shape, and they still got their long hair and their hair, okay. But you see, most of them it's not the case, okay. A lot of them are out of shape, okay. But that's just what happened. And instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and a burning instead of beauty, okay. So that's what came upon our people. Okay, that's what you see right now. So all that I read going back to the ancient world, okay, how beautiful our women are, and you still have beautiful Israelites. Even our women in this predicament, they're still the most beautiful women on the planet. But you get my point, okay? But we come into the time now where all that's going to change. We're in that time, you know. Probably gonna end it with this scripture. Because the remnant, the elect, the house of David, okay, they're returning to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, okay? And that's what's gonna end this captivity. But point being is, it's said in the scriptures, how we gonna be changed. The men and the women of our nation. Okay? We not gonna have, okay. Hold on, let me get this. This Second Peter's. Let me get this first. This came to mind. Second Peter's. Let me see. Yeah, I'll start at the first verse. Second Peter's 2:1. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately say shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And that's what the majority of our people are doing now. This truth is coming out on who you are, why you're in the predicament you're in, and what's about to happen. And it's being over spoken of because a majority of our people, they look at things on the standpoint of America. They look at things what Esau told them. And Esau is going down, man. Okay? You Edomites are going down, man. Okay? And because that's being brought by most of our people, okay, it's evil spoken of. But it all goes back to who's predestined to get it, man. If you're of the house of David, the elect, And through covetousness shall they with vain works make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time they have not, and their damnation slumbereth not. For Yahweh, if the Most High spared not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell, and we are those angels, okay? And hell, okay, it's not talking about what the churches tell you that hell is some burning place you'll burn for eternity in the ground. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about a lower state, okay? Example, Esau is living, okay, in his heaven, and you Israelites, you're in your hell, man. Okay? These curses is your hell. Okay? If you could receive it. And delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Okay? And what is these chains of darkness, man? Okay? These bodies, man. Okay? These bodies of death, man. Okay? These bodies, man. These bodies of that we go off in, man. Because we're in what? We're in sinful flesh. Okay? These bodies we have, they're not godly bodies. They're sinful flesh. That's why it tells you in the scriptures that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. These bodies, we want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. But because we've been putting these bodies are made, okay, to go off, man. That's why I'm gonna end it with this, Let me see. So I'm gonna start at the 36th verse. This is 1 Corinthians 1:36. Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die. And that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bare grain. It may be chance of wheat or of some other grain. But Yahweh giveth it as a body, giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same, flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another of flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial one and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. Because these bodies we have are corruptible bodies. Okay? They reap corruption, you know. We sin in these bodies. Okay? It is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness, it is raised in power. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul, the last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth, earthly. The second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthly, such are they also that are earthly. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Because we have earthly bodies right now, but pretty soon we're gonna have new, spiritual bodies, man. We ain't gonna be having these bodies we have right now, okay? When we are raised up on them chariots, which the chariots are the so-called, as you people know, the so-called UFOs, okay? But we're gonna have new bodies, okay? And that's what we know. I have faith in. We should have faith in, okay? And that's what we're waiting for, okay? And we have also born an image. Let me see. Yeah, this is the 50th verse. Now this I say, brethren, that the flesh and the blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, basically die, okay? When you die, you basically really just sleeping for a period of time, But we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. And why is death going to be swallowed up? Because the wages of sin, is as death. I believe that's how it's paraphrased. When sinning, leads to death, man. And that's what our people have been doing. We go off, and we sin against the Lord, okay? And that's how death comes about, okay? Transgression of the law is sin, okay? But because we're going to have these bodies, okay? Let me get it. Let me continue reading. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahushua. Therefore, my beloved brethren, may ye steadfast be, brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord, man. Okay? So these new bodies that we have waiting for us, okay, especially starting with the elect, and then eventually the rest of the nation of Israel, okay? These new bodies will help us according to Jeremiah, I believe the 31st chapter. These new bodies will help us keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? It's gonna be in our inward parts. Let me just type it in. We won't go off. We will no longer go off in these bodies. Hold on, this is Jeremiah 33, I think it is. We were no longer sending these new bodies that we had wait for us. Okay? The confusion to face brothers and sisters who are Israelites who can receive this, to know their spirit bear witness with this word, as the scriptures say, you gonna be changed. You no longer gonna be looking like a heathen. You're gonna look like an actual Israelite. Okay? The point being, this whole lesson, so-called black woman, the body that she has on this side, these worn out, these bodies compared to what they had in the ancient world, that's gonna be changed, man. Okay? These bodies you see our people have now is not gonna be the bodies we have. We're gonna have mighty, immortal bodies, man. Immortal like bodies, man. Our women, they're gonna be extremely, extremely beautiful from the so-called black women on down, man. Okay? Everything's gonna change, man. You know? That's what we have faith in. You know, faith is the substance of things hoped for, you know? As the scriptures say in the book of Hebrews, the 12th chapter, I believe, the 12th or 11th chapter. Okay? Where's the scripture at? Talking about the inward part. Salaki, bear with me real quick. It usually pops up. And our women's bodies, they're gonna have to be changed, okay? Because the bodies that the men of the nation of Israel is gonna see, if our women were to go in the kingdom of heaven with the bodies that they have, okay, they wouldn't be able to handle, okay, the Israelite man in that form. Okay, so they're gonna be changed, man. They're gonna have, okay, godly type bodies too, man. Okay. Hold on, let me type in no man shall teach. Yeah, it was Jeremiah 31 chapter. It's Jeremiah 31 and 31. Okay? This is tying into what I was reading in 1 Corinthians 15 and the 40th verse on down. Okay? And this was gonna happen after we received those new bodies. Okay? This is Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Okay? Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. Because we broke that one. That was the first one. Okay? Which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, said the Lord. This shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. Okay, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, I will no more, I will remember their sin no more. That's why we're not gonna die anymore. Okay, when we get these new bodies, they won't go off anymore. Okay, they're gonna be completely perfect, man. We're gonna be completely perfect. Okay, we're gonna be completely righteous. Okay. We're not going to sin anymore, okay? So that doesn't bring death anymore, okay? So meaning we're basically going to live forever, man, okay? We're going to live for eternity, okay? If we, we're in a captivity, if everything that's going while people going through happen according to the scriptures, what makes you think this ain't gonna happen? Okay? Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon by night. Let me see. Well, that's it. I made the point. Okay? Actually, I'll read that. Okay? Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divide the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. And those ordinances depart from me before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Oh, that was it. That was it. Salakia. Okay? That's going into you know that would never happen because we're gonna be the Lord's people forever. We're gonna be here. Okay? Point being is, we're gonna be changed, okay? From the Israelite man all the way down, okay? Our women, they ain't gonna look. They're not gonna be in this estate. They're gonna be changed, okay? They're gonna be completely righteous. They're gonna be completely beautiful, okay? And this is what's coming to the whole nation of Israel. We just have to wait for it. We're almost to that point, okay? So, call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. Shalom to the elect.